everybody, welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I'm really excited to bring you these projects here on this sunny afternoon here in Tucson. I hope you all had an amazing weekend, and I'm actually trying something out new today. So let me just make sure that I am live here on Facebook, and I'm actually streaming live on YouTube as well. So let me just make sure that I'm live here on YouTube. Perfect. I am live on YouTube as well. My first time that I'm gonna be dual casting on Facebook Live and also YouTube Live at the same time. So I'm really excited to bring this option to you guys each week. So if you are joining me, welcome. Each week I go live on Mondays at 5 p.m. here in Arizona to bring you what I like to call Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I will bring you two projects today featuring the Flowing Flowers stamp set. Now this is kind of a hidden gem in our January through June mini catalog. There are no coordinating punches and no coordinating dies. So this is actually the perfect stamp set for simple stamping. Now, how many out there have or know what simple stamping is? Now, you don't have to be a beginner crafter to do simple stamping. Anybody from a beginner all the way to advanced crafters can do simple stamping. So what simple stamping is only using stamps, ink, and paper. Our core products from Stampin' Up! To bring you beautiful projects that do not take a lot of time, do not take a lot of supplies, and are perfect, like I mentioned, for all skill levels. Now, of course, to be a Stampin' Blondie project, I needed to add a little bit of an embellishment to each project. But if you don't have these embellishments on the projects, they're still beautiful by themselves on their own. So, looks like I'm live here today. Hello, husband from the living room. Carol, Leanne, Cindy, Veronica, thank you all for joining me live here on Facebook here tonight. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. I've got 3 quick things to go over before we jump into our project. So let's go ahead. The first thing that I want to talk about is my Happy Hedgehogs class. So this is the April Create and Craft. This is from my website. This is the monthly subscription that you can sign up for. Now this is an option where you can sign up just for 1 month. You can do reoccurring each month, however you want to do your club craft and create. This month I'm focusing on the Happy Hedgehogs stamp set. This is from the annual catalog, or sorry, January through June mini catalog as well. And it has a nice mixture of these images and sentiments to go along with this set. Now we are going to be creating 4 different projects with the Happy Hedgehogs. So just a quick peek of the projects here. So you'll create 8 projects to each of these 4 different designs. And you will receive in your class kit a package of soft pastels assortment. If you've never worked with the soft pastels, they're very fun and easy coloring medium for all skill levels. Classic matte dots and some other goodies. Now you can add on the Happy Hedgehogs stamp set or bundle, because it has a coordinating punch to go with it. So you can add this on to your class kit, and this is offered with both an in-person or a virtual Zoom event. It'll be held in person April 19th, virtually April 20th, and the deadline to sign up for this class is the 9th. So coming up very soon, just next week I think is when the 9th is. So the deadline is the 9th. Details to register for that in the description of the video here when I'm done tonight. Now this weekend, I sent this out to my subscribers on my newsletter, but I posted it on Facebook and Instagram this afternoon. My Hello Ladybug card class to go. Now this is a class to go. So it's make these projects on your own schedule. There's no set class time. It comes with a full PDF tutorial project listing and then step-by-step instructions on how to put the projects together. They're very simple to put together, so no Zoom classes needed for these. So included in your class kit, full package of the red rhinestone basic jewels. We have a full package of the All Together 6x6 designer series paper. I did not bring that out here. Wink of Stella and Wink of Stella glitter brush. And you can add on the Hello Ladybug stamp set and coordinating punch if you would like. So this card class to go, I'm just gonna quickly show the projects. Very cute. And this one's my favorite. We're gonna make a little bumblebee out of it. Super cute. So I just announced this weekend. The deadline to register for this class is April 15th. This is a class to go, meaning no set class time, and you make the projects on your own schedule. So those are my two classes that I have right now. The last thing, annual catalog. So the 22-23 annual catalog will be delivered to my house tomorrow. I have 12 cases of catalogs coming tomorrow. So I hope my husband's ready. If you're still watching, I hope you have your strong arms because I'm gonna need them tomorrow afternoon. So the 22-23 annual catalog, along with all of my pre-order goodies, will be here tomorrow. If you are not currently working with a demonstrator and you have not placed an order with me in the last 6 months, I will have a link in the description of this video once I'm done where you can reserve your copy. So I can't show the inside of the catalog just yet. It is gorgeous. Now the new 22-24 in colors are bright and bold and right up my crafting style. If you want to see what those look like, if you click on my Stampin' Blondie page on Facebook, at the top in the header there is a photo of all of the in colors. So very, very beautiful. I also have this set coming here too, so I'm really excited about that. So annual catalog, 10 pages longer than our current annual catalog, and kicks off May 3rd. So if you are not working with a demonstrator and you have not placed an order with me in the last 6 months, link in the description of this video today and you can reserve your own copy. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in to our projects here today. So we will be featuring the Flowing Flowers stamp set. This is from the January through June mini catalog. Like I mentioned before, there are no coordinating dies and no coordinating punch to go with this, but it is a great project to be able to use to create some like watercolory effect images. Now these are distinctive, so D-I-S-T-I-N-K, distinctive stamps, meaning that they have like a realistic look to them. The images are more dotted, so here you can see they're not meant to be full dark stamps when you use them. If you follow along with me in my videos, you know I love a great stamp set that has images and sentiments together. And this one is great because it has a mixture of different fonts to go along with it. So one of my favorite things. This is a traditional red rubber stamp set, so clings to your clear block, stamps just like our previous wood stamps. And I've been showing you guys lately for Stampin' Bingo, because this is what we're using for Stampin' Bingo at the end of this month. This is a project that I had been showing you guys recently on Makers Monday with using this Flowing Flowers stamp set. Just different colors, ink, and this is a simple stamping project as well. But our two projects that we're going to be creating here today are very simple and easy, like I mentioned, any skill levels. And if you want to take these to the next level and add some die cuts or other embellishments, you easily can. But these two projects are perfect for what I like to call simple stamping. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. The first project we're going to work on is our gray card here. Let me grab all the goodies. Oh, I forgot. Actually, two things I forgot. Prize Patrol. So if you are new, each week I do something called Prize Patrol, where I have a product of the week and that I give that out to those that share and comment shared on my video. So this is only open to US customers. So if you are outside of the US, you can still share my video, and thank you for sharing. Our Prize Patrol for last week was a full package of the Ombre gift bags. These are in our 21-23 in color colors. So polished pink, fresh freesia, pale papaya, soft succulent, and evening evergreen. There's 20 bags in here, and the winner from last week was Rena Porter. So congratulations, Rena. I haven't seen your name pop up here just yet, but I know that you watch each week. So congratulations, Rena, on your Prize Patrol from last week. Now our Prize Patrol for this week is another perfect, simple stamping thing, I guess you want to call it. If you do not know what our paper pumpkin kits are, these are crafting kits that are perfect for those that may not want to purchase a lot of craft supplies, or those that just don't have time to design their own projects. So our paper pumpkin kit, this is the Hope Kit. This is our Prize Patrol for this week. Now, a paper pumpkin kit comes with everything you need to create the projects for this month. So we have a full roll of this like Blackberry Bliss ribbon, an entire stamp set. Now these stamp sets are exclusive to paper pumpkin kits, a Blackberry Bliss Stampin' Spot, and the whole paper pumpkin kit. So it comes with embellishments, envelopes, all the die cuts and card bases you need for the project. So paper pumpkin kit is our Prize Patrol for this week. I love paper pumpkin. I take it on the go with me when I am going to scrapbook crops. Everything's in here. I don't need to take a ton of supplies with me. I just bring my favorite adhesive, my scissors, and extra Stampin' Dimensionals, because I love Stampin' Dimensionals. So our paper pumpkin kit is our Prize Patrol for this week. So make sure to share the video, comment that you shared, and you'll win the entire paper pumpkin kit. All right, now we can move on to our projects. So each week I provide a full project PDF tutorial of the projects that I am creating here today. This can be found on my website, stampinblondie.com. Each week on Monday at 6 a.m. I post the PDF tutorial directions. Now it has the item names, item numbers, and the price and the dimension at the bottom of the two projects we'll be making during Makers Monday. Now on this one, you may notice that one of the items here is highlighted because we are in catalog transition time. The item that is highlighted is on the retirement list. Now I haven't checked this morning if this petal pink ribbon is still available. If it's not, I apologize. But I highlighted it on here and it's on sale. It's $4.80 for a roll. So stampinblondie.com, you can print that off, pair that with this video, and you can create our two projects for Makers Monday. Peggy, I am so excited to unbox my new products tomorrow. I'll get them tomorrow, but I'm going to a movie tomorrow night, so it probably won't be until Wednesday where I can do a Facebook Live to show everybody what I got. So hopefully it'll be in before I go to the movie, but I don't think it will be. My UPS comes later at night. Okay, so our project here, this uses the, what is this? The Heart and Home, sorry, I have it on here. Yes, Heart and Home Designer Series paper. This is from the January through June mini catalog. Now, when we're in a catalog transition time like we are now, it's hard to focus on Designer Series paper for Makers Monday because it sells out. So if I make a project now and then, you know, the next day it could be gone. So a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to focus on right now is from January through June. It's just easier to plan because none of that stuff is on a retirement list right now. So that is what I'm mainly focusing on until our catalog transition time is over. So you'll see a lot more January through June stuff for the next couple weeks maybe. All right, see, she printed off her instructions bright and early and she's ready to join us for Makers Monday. All right, basic gray cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, a color I don't tend to use very often, but since I have it here, we are going to use it. Now, I am trying to use some colors that I don't typically use very often, so we are gonna be using that. Now, I'm using Stampin' Seal Plus. Now, not because I need it to stick extra well, but because Stampin' Seal adhesive is currently not available to order. And I need a refill, so I only have Stampin' Seal Plus right now, so that's what we're gonna be working with. All right, 3 pieces of that Heart and Home Designer Series paper. Now this is beautiful paper. One side has floral images and the other side has these gray and white wood grain images. So we are gonna use those. Now, before I glue these down, I wanna add them to my card base and make sure that my spacing is all right. Now I'm gonna use liquid glue for this portion because if I use Stampin' Seal Plus and it doesn't line up exactly right, I don't have time to be able to move my paper around and get it lined up right where I want it. So with multi-purpose liquid glue, I have a few seconds to be able to shift and shimmy that paper around to be exactly where I want it on my card base. There we go. And our top piece here. Now, like I mentioned, our theme for today is simple stamping. Stamps, inks, and paper is our main focus, our core products of Stampin' Up! Now, I will tell you, I will admit, simple stamping is hard. So unless you are a pro at creating simple projects, it can be hard. So it takes a little bit of time to be able to finesse a simple project. Try it one time. No dies, no embossing folders, no nothing else. Just do stamping and see how hard it can be sometimes. All right, I need to cut a piece of basic white cardstock for my piece here, 3 by 4. Good thing I have my instructions handy. But this is going to be my sentiment piece here. So I'm gonna bring a piece of scratch paper, just my grid paper, and we're going to stamp. And I'm using that because part of our images are gonna hang off, so I wanna make sure my workspace is covered. For this card, I'll be using Petal Pink and Basic Gray inks. That's it. 2 colors, and the best part about this stamp, or this card, is that if you don't have these 2 colors, you can easily swap it out for whatever colors you have in your craft supply that work with this project. So our first stamp is that big, large flower. We're gonna stamp that in the lower right corner. Ink up again and do it one more time in the lower left. And one last time in the, get that out of the way, upper left. And that's it for our flowers here. So it is just very simple flowers. The stamp set is gorgeous. I do not tend to gravitate towards floral images when I'm stamping, but I love the way this stamp set looks. All right, our sentiment thank you from our stamp set right here. 2 mixtures of fonts that work really well together. And we're just gonna stamp that in the upper right here. Now the best part about this project is if you are in a bind and you need a quick thank you card at the last second, this is very, very easy to put together. And you can even swap out the thank you for just a note, or if you need a happy birthday. My favorite on this one is sending a card instead of a text. I think we're all guilty of sending the quick happy birthday text when sending a birthday card means just so much more there. So here we go. We're gonna use some of our outside pieces of our dimensionals. in the middle here. And this is just gonna go right on the top of our card here. Dimensionals, give it just a little pop-up. Again, if simple stamping, if you're a beginner stamper and you don't have dimensionals, you still could just glue that right to your card base and it looks like a great project. Now, stamps, ink, and paper on their own, look at how beautiful this card is with just that. Now, of course, as a Makers Monday and Stampin' Blondie project, I had to step it up just a little bit. This is the Petal Pink Striped Organdy ribbon. This is what's on the retirement list. $4.80 for a roll of ribbon in Petal Pink. I love Petal Pink. It's probably my favorite light pink that we have, but it is a great color. And like I mentioned, you can swap this color out for whatever ribbon you have in your card craft room and just coordinate your ink to go with it. So, all right, this ribbon needs to be cut at an angle. It does tend to fray pretty easily, so we'll just do this. And the best way that I found to adhere this is some glue dots. Now, because it's clear, normally I use multi-purpose liquid glue to adhere my ribbon, but glue dots is a great option for this. Multi-purpose liquid glue tends to kind of ooze through the mesh part of it, so we are just going to use glue dots, and all my glue dots are like stuck on the box. So we're going to take our glue dot, put one in the middle here, and we're going to attach that first to the card. Now, because glue dots are clear and our ribbon has a little bit of mesh, we can get away with this. We're going to take another glue dot, lift up one side of the bow, squish that down, and one more glue dot, other side of the bow, and that'll just hold it really into place, and you won't even see the mini glue dots at all, because with that mesh ribbon, it does tend to hide that glue dot back there. So there's our first card featuring the Flowing Flowers stamp set from the January through June mini catalog. Simple stamping at its finest. Stamps, inks, and paper, and just one little added embellishment, but anybody can add a ribbon. So I figured no matter what skill level you are, you can add that little embellishment to your project. I hope you guys like this project. I love it. And I think I want to make more in different colors just to see what it looks like. All right, our second project is very simple stamping, but still packs that really, really beautiful punch to it. Basic white cardstock, 3 ink pads, and a pair of scissors, and 2 embellishments if you really want to step it up a little bit. So, all right, we have, for this one, I need to clean off my big flower that we just used. So I got my Stampin' Scrub out here today. Yes, Denise Isn't the Stamp Set is great, and if you signed up for Stampin' Bingo, we're gonna create projects with this. So I'm really looking forward to making more projects with you guys for this. All right. 4 1/4 by 11 basic white cardstock, scored at 5 1/2. Our dimensions for our PDF tutorial today, very, very simple. We have like 3 pieces of paper to work with today, so it's very easy. This is another basic white, 3 3/4 by 5 1/8, I think is what it is. This is like my basic go-to size. 3 1/4 by 5, sorry about that. 3 1/4 by 5, and we're gonna stamp right on this. Now we're gonna do kind of a 3-step stamping part to this here. So for this card, I am using 3 different colors. We're gonna be using Balmy Blue. Again, a color I don't tend to use very often. Colors in our subtles family, which is our pastels, I don't tend to gravitate to, so I really wanted to focus on them for Makers Monday today. Balmy Blue, Pear Pizzazz, Highland Heather. These are our 3 colors that we're going to be working with here today. And we'll put the card in frame so you guys can see that. All right, our first step is this stamp here. This is the one that has kind of some splotchiness, some leaves, and the flower. We're gonna stamp this whole thing in Pear Pizzazz. Now you may be saying, well, it's all gonna be green and you have a flower. It doesn't matter. We're gonna cover it up with the Highland Heather flower. So we really just want the splotchiness and the leaves to be showing from there. Ooh, I almost dropped that on our project. Caught it. All right, that's Pear Pizzazz. Next one, let's put that over here, is gonna be our Balmy Blue, and we're gonna stamp that on top of this. It's gonna overlap just a little bit. Now this one has 3 flowers and kind of some splotchy as well. Balmy Blue, and we're just gonna stamp it right there. Perfect. And that flower from our last project, this big one here, we're actually gonna use a spare piece right here, just a spare piece of basic white cardstock, and we're gonna fussy cut. Like I mentioned earlier, this does not have any dies, this does not have any punches, but this is very easy to fussy cut out. So we're just gonna ink it up really, really well and stamp that on here. And with my scissors, I'm just gonna fussy cut this out here. So, very simple to do. It's just a bunch of rounded edges. Now when I fussy cut, I like to leave a little bit of a white border around my flower just to make it look like it was kind of die cut. I like to hold my scissors in my right hand, since I'm right-handed, and turn the paper with my left hand. That gives me better control of the around the curves. So I will just hold my scissors steady and just turn my paper that way. I find it easier to fussy cut, for me, this way. So we're just gonna round the edges here, around, and there we go. And scrap paper. All right, so this card base, we have our card base here, make sure it's going the right way. The first thing we're gonna do, oh, we need to stamp our sentiment here. Let me not forget that part. Balmy Blue, again, same color as that second flower we stamped, and this one says sending a card instead of a text. Now the best thing about this is that this can be used for get well, a hello, congratulations, a birthday card. This really has, sending a card instead of a text has a lot of different occasions that you can use it for. All right, Stampin' Dimensionals. Again, if you don't have Stampin' Dimensionals and you're a beginner stamper, you can just glue this right down to your card base and it'll still look great. So we've got our dimensionals here. I'm just using dimensionals to give it a little bit of depth from our card base. These little things like to fly all over my house. I found one in my kitchen the other day. My craft room is nowhere near my kitchen. Have no idea how it got there. Probably my dogs. All right, so we have our card base attached to our stamped part, and we're going to adhere our purple flower with dimensionals as well. So this is just going to go right on top of that green flower. So that's why I said it doesn't matter what color that flower is, because we're just gonna cover it up with the purple flower right there. All right, so this card, even without the embellishments, look how beautiful that is. It's very simple and it's delicate, but because it's Makers Monday, we're gonna step it up with some champagne rhinestone jewels. So these come in 3 different sizes. You have a large, medium, and small, but I'm going to use 3 of the small rhinestones just in the middle here of the flower. This will just give it a little bit of shimmer and shine. And like I said, even though this is a simple stamping project, these want to come off, it's still very easy for a beginner stamper to put rhinestones on a card. So I didn't do any crazy embellishments that would be hard for beginner stampers to be able to create. Now this is probably the hardest part, linen thread. We are gonna take 2 pieces of linen thread and we're going to tie them in a bow and adhere it to the card base. So this may be, if you are a beginner stamper, you may want to skip this part. This is probably more for a intermediate, let's say, because this thread is so thin and we're tying 2 pieces of it together that sometimes it's a little tricky. So let's see if I can get it here. Even I have trouble sometimes. Ah, there we go. And 2 pieces just makes it look even more more thick. This is a very thin thread. So I like to tie 2 together at the same time. And so when I tie it together, I just hold the middle and pull to get the loops to be the same size, and pull, and then all 4 tails at the same time, hold and cut. There we go. Now this, again, just like that last ribbon, we're going to use mini glue dots. You could use multi-purpose liquid glue, but with the liquid glue and this thread being so thin, you just want to use a glue dot. So we're going to take my Take Your Pick tool, form our glue dot into a little bitty ball right in the middle and right on the edge. And now you don't have to wait for anything to dry, and it sticks right to your card, and you don't need more glue dots like that petal pink ribbon that we had for our last project. So here it is with the little rhinestones in the middle, some little thread on here, and even without those, this is still a very, very beautiful, simple stamping project. All right, so let me bring in our 2 projects that we worked on here today. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. I love the petal pink color on this one, but I like how just so simple and elegant the second card is, and it is really fun to be able to put this together, and you can create so many different projects just by swapping out your ink colors with whatever you have in your craft supply. So let me know in the comments which one here is your favorite that we created together here today. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me for another week of Makers Monday here on Facebook, or for the first time this week live on YouTube at the same time. I hope you guys all have an amazing week. Make sure, if you are not currently working with a demonstrator and haven't placed an order with me in the last 6 months and you'd like a copy of the new annual catalog, make sure to check out the link in the description here when I am done with this video. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you next